MD Anderson here again, and today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And a lot of people, I think, have a misperception of who he really was. It's kind of, it's become a holiday, and a lot of us don't even understand why. But what did he really teach and believe? Just so you know, I have the Dragonville's novel series, and I have a history of people who led this secret organization since the time of Leonardo da Vinci, and I've picked prominent characters from history who had been leaders of this at one point in time. Martin Luther King Jr. is one of them because I really do love what he was teaching and how he stood his ground and the moral character he had as an individual. And so I wanted to go through a couple of quotes that he had. So it's kind of funny because today there's no school. The one thing he promoted was education. So in the way we celebrate his birthday is by taking off education for the day. So I find that rather ironic. And well, here are the things that he did say. I've got like 5 pages worth of Martin Luther King Jr. quotes. And the first one I read off my computer. So it says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. He cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." I like that because it's not black or white. It is people. It is love. It's about the hope. And then the next quote, "I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear." And if you actually take a moment to read Dragonize Your Dragon Eyes, Learn the Goal Process, I have a big section in there about forgiveness. You would not realize how much self-esteem is dependent on your forgiveness and repentance to others as well. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. The other one, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." There's so much truth to that because we all hit hard times. How are we going to act in that hard time? Are we going to, be dishonest about it? But then that just tarnishes our reputation, doesn't help anything. Or are we going to be honest with it? However, sometimes I do know that in circumstances, honesty isn't the best thing, but it depends what you were doing before that. Of course, his most famous one, "I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." He's telling us we are human. Be human. Love human. I love that. There's no segregation. I kind of feel like if Martin Luther King were alive today, I think he'd be highly insulted with what's going on, especially here in the United States. I don't think that some of these auxiliary programs are truly promoting what Martin Luther King Jr. taught. All right, where's another good one? Ooh, what I was just talking about. "We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies." Granted, it doesn't mean that you have to be close and chummy and allow your enemies to become bullies as well. Let's see, where's another good one? Where's an education one? That's what I liked most about him, was his education. Oh, here's another strong one. "A man who won't die for something is not fit to live." Actually, there's a lot of people in the Shaman organization that say something similar to that. So, I've got lots of good ones here, and I'm scrolling through many, many more. Ooh, this is a good one. I kind of feel like some of these auxiliary programs are completely contradictory to this. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. And when we start saying, I'm better than you, or you're worse than you, or whatever, because of skin color or geography, that's when we really do lose it. Um, ooh. And then he talks about ethics versus morals and what's, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Here's a great quote he was talking about. Never forget that everything Hitler did in Germany was legal. Hitler didn't do much illegally that I'm aware of. It was all actually legal. He actually did win those elections. Um, ALI cannot live. Let's see. We have all come from different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Yeah, a lot of truth to that. I had a whole section of education. Ooh, science investigates, religion interprets. Science gives man knowledge, which is power. Religion gives man wisdom, which is control. So we do have to have a good combination of the two, according to Martin Luther King Jr. All progress is precarious, and the solution of one problem brings us face to face with another problem. And I say that in the goal process as well, that, you know, the finishing up of one thing is the start of the next problem. It always is. As long as you are progressing, you are going to find the next problem. And to build your self esteem, monitoring your progress is very, very important, because sometimes you think, oh, I just accomplished such a little thing, I accomplished a little thing, and you don't realize how many little things you've accomplished to build a big result, a lot of success. And so I will tell, when I'm coaching gymnastics, I will tell them that, thousands of bricks make a wall. And those bricks aren't big, they're not very heavy, but every single one of them in the right place helps you to progress. And if you take one brick out of that wall, you see a picture of bricks, and you take one out, all you see is the one missing brick. So little things do make a big difference. So, I love this one. The goal process is huge about using your time. It says we must use time creatively. So, those are just a few of the things that Martin Luther King Jr. talked about. So I hope that this day that you're not in school, you decide to learn a little bit more about who he was, what he promoted, and why he is such an incredible character in American history and the world history. Um, he stood for the right things, and he didn't look at people based on where they came from, and but how they acted. So that was an incredible, strong man to be able to do what he did, and his legacy lives on. So, truthfully, if you want to live immortally, it's your history and your memory that goes on. So, do something like Martin Luther King Jr. and stand up for what's right, and make sure you're there to help others. That's what he was all about, helping others, being human, being the best you can be. And that's what the goal process is all about. So, as I finish this up, remember, believe greatly, achieve greatly.